had never meant to step onto the battlefield that day. But the moment I climbed out of the wreckage of my shuttle, coughing from smoke and bruised by impact, I realized I had crashed in the middle of an active conflict zone on the planet Varythis, a vast, ancient world where towering forest spires scraped the sky and violet storms flickered with plasma lightning. My diplomatic mission had been simple: deliver encoded peace proposals to the Varythian High Council. A single courier, discreet and fast. No guards, no escorts. Perfect for avoiding political chaos. But still very vulnerable to orbital debris. One stray meteor fragment changed everything. The shuttle spiraled, alarms screamed, and I crash-landed in the heart of Varythian territory, right between two factions locked in war. When I pushed the emergency hatch open and stumbled into the open, I saw her. A lone Varythian soldier sliding down the ridge toward me, weapon drawn, armor shining with living circuitry. She was tall, over 7 feet, with metallic blue skin and long white braids that glowed faintly under the storming sky. Her eyes struck me first. Bright silver, dark, intelligent, and full of something I could not immediately name. Not hatred, not hostility, a deep immobilizing shock. She slowed her sprint, then stopped entirely, frozen mid-stride as if time had turned to stone around her. Her weapon fell from her grasp and clattered against the stones. I blinked, confused, hands raised instinctively. I'm unarmed, I said, trying not to tremble. But her gaze was not on my hands, or my uniform. It was on my face. No, she whispered, voice breaking like fragile glass. No, that cannot be. Her breathing hitched. Her lips trembled. In that moment, fear washed over me. Not because she seemed dangerous, but because she seemed hurt. Deeply, unbearably hurt. She took one staggering step toward me. You, she whispered, voice echoing. Why do you have his face? Beginning. Wind roared through the burned treetops. The sky rumbled with violet lightning. But the soldier stood there, trembling, staring at me like I was a ghost crawling out of her past. I swallowed. I think you've mistaken me for someone else. But she shook her head violently. No. That face. Those eyes. That scar near the brow. Her fingers brushed the air near my forehead as if afraid to touch. Only one man carried those markings. Her pupils expanded. Silver eyes shimmered with grief. My husband. Froze. My heart dropped into my stomach. I'm sorry, I managed. I don't know anything about. But she closed her eyes and forced a shaky breath before I could finish. His name was Kyreth Vaal, she whispered. Commander of the 7th Legion. Killed 2 cycles ago during the siege of Azareth. When she opened her eyes again, they glowed. Not with rage. With mourning. You are him, she said. Or cloned from him. Or reborn from the cosmic cycle. I don't know which. But I know his face. I touched that face. I loved that face. She stepped closer. I stepped back. And she still refused to raise her weapon. You are human, she said finally, confusion overtaking her grief. But you carry his image as if carved by fate. The wind quieted for a beat, and all I could hear was her breathing. My name is Lyra Vaal, she added quietly. Widow of Kyreth. I swallowed hard. Lyra. I swear I'm not him. My name is Aaron Hale. I'm a diplomat from Earth. She didn't reply. She only stared, as if trying to peel my soul apart looking for truth. Middle. Blaster shots suddenly lit up the ridge behind her. An entire squad of armored soldiers sprinted toward us, shouting in the Varythian tongue. Their weapons glowed with hot plasma, aimed directly at me. Lyra whipped around, shield igniting at her forearm. "Stand down," she barked. The squad hesitated for only a breath. "Lieutenant Vaal, that is an enemy courier." "He is not the enemy," she snapped. "But he is human," one soldier countered. "Varythis is under invasion from—" "He is not the invader," she roared. "And you will not fire upon him." Her voice carried the weight of command. The squad lowered their weapons, shaken, confused, but obedient. One approached. "Lieutenant, with respect, why protect him?" Her voice softened in a way I didn't expect. "He bears the face of my husband." The squad exchanged troubled glances. One muttered, "The resemblance is perfect." Another whispered, "Is this destiny? A sign from the spirits?" I lifted my hands again. "Please, I really am not." Lyra cut me off. "We will escort you to command." "Command?" Echoed. "No, I just need to send a message to the High Council." "The High Council is at the front lines," she replied. "And you are now in contested territory. Without protection, you won't survive 10 minutes. Another soldier stepped forward. "Lieutenant, if he resembles the commander as much as it appears, the High Council must see him." Lyra exhaled slowly, staring into my face again. "Come," she said, voice gentler. "I will keep you safe." Her hand hovered near my shoulder, hesitant, trembling. Not a soldier's hand. A widow's. The march to command took hours. Varythian terrain was unlike anything I had ever studied. Massive root bridges spiraling from glowing trees, crystalline rivers pulsing with bioluminescent currents, distant shapes slithering through the mist. As we traveled, soldiers whispered behind me. "He looks exactly like him. Even the expression. The spirits return." Lyra walked beside me in tense silence. Every now and then, she stole quick glances as if checking whether I would vanish like a mirage. When we finally reached command, a towering fortress built into the side of an obsidian cliff, she led me inside. And every guard froze at the sight of me. Some bowed. Some gasped. Some stepped back like they'd seen a ghost. A commander approached, older than the others, with a scar stretching across one cheek. His eyes widened. "Kyreth." I lifted my hands, exhausted. "No, I'm not." "He is Aaron Hale," Lyra said firmly. "A human diplomat." The commander studied me for a long moment, then nodded slowly. "But he carries Kyreth's face," he murmured. "In every detail." The room filled with whispers. Finally Lyra turned to me. "You will meet the council. They must decide what this means." I felt a knot tighten in my stomach. "This resemblance," I whispered. "Is it really that exact?" She closed her eyes. When she opened them, her voice softened. "When my husband died, I touched his face one last time. I memorized every line." A tear escaped down her cheek. "You carry everything. Even the tiny scar he gained from our sparring match." She reached out very slowly, and her fingers brushed the faint scar on my brow. A chill traveled down my spine. Not because I feared her, but because she touched me like someone touching a memory come to life. "Aaron," she whispered. "Whether you are his echo, his reincarnation, or just fate's cruel joke, I cannot look at you without remembering him." Her hand curled into a fist. "And I cannot lose him a second time." The council. The High Council consisted of 7 elders whose armor glowed like molten glass. They studied me with a mixture of awe and suspicion. One leaned forward. "Human, why do you resemble our fallen commander?" "I have no idea," I said honestly. "I didn't even know he existed." Another elder whispered, This is either prophecy fulfilled or a genetic manipulation. Lyra stepped forward. He shows no signs of deception. And you trust him? An elder challenged.